Published 1925 Est, the 18th of November 2017. Updated 0530 Est, the 19th of November 2017. 70 years. They've been man and wife for our allotted biblical lifespan. 60 years and 10. As of tomorrow, they've gone platinum. He's the oldest male member of the royal family ever, 96, and this is the longest royal marriage in history. Indeed, the Queen and Prince Philip's marriage has been running even longer than the Archers, and has provided the wallpaper and backdrop to almost all our own domestic dramas. They have seen births, marriages, a domino of divorces among their own offspring, and death. Fergie, the Windsor Castle fire, Princess Diana, and yet they keep on going. They are the premier continuity couple of our times. The Queen and Prince Philip's marriage has been running even longer than the Archers, and has provided the wallpaper and backdrop to almost all our own domestic dramas. What did those two get so right when it came to their own union? One can't help wondering that 3 out of their 4 children got wrong. After all, the portents were not that auspicious at the outset. Philip was a cosmopolitan European, an alpha male who had to suffer the indignity of not passing his own name to his children, wearing a kilt at Highland Games, walking behind his wife, and yet, somehow it's worked for 7 decades. They still beam at each other, and you can see the shine in her eyes that tells us she's with the only man she has ever loved, and he twinkles back. Photos can almost detect the ready bright glow coming off Her Majesty. It is a truism to say, you never know what goes on in anyone else's marriage, but the point here is that Queen and Prince Philip do not have anyone else's marriage, they have one that is like no one else's on God's earth. Take the wedding day itself. Winston Churchill said the occasion brought a flash of colour to austere, grim, post-war London. Richard Dimbleby orated in clipped pathé tones about majesty and pageantry, but the groom's subordinate status was also made very plain. His 4 sisters were banned on the grounds you couldn't invite the Hun. Some were married to Germans soon after the war. He had to kneel and pledge to be her liege man of life and limb, in front of the world. But he stuck to his vows, and his pledge. And so has she. While Prince Charles moaned his marriage was a Greek tragedy, and the unions of Anne and Andrew collapsed in the infamous annus horribilis, the Queen and Prince Philip sailed serenely on the course they planned in 1947, and tried to steer the others if possible in the same direction. During the Charles-Diana troubles, for example, Philip wrote letters to the princess to impress on her the importance of compromise in marriage, and the need for duty to family. Meanwhile, it was clever of the Queen to make him top dog at home, and head of the royal household, and to keep the leash long. There's nothing worse than to fence a man in, she said in her 30s, and stop him from doing what he wants. On our silver anniversary, she let slip another secret ingredient to a successful marriage. One of the great Christian ideals is a happy and lasting marriage between man and wife, she said, but no marriage can hope to succeed without a deliberate effort to be tolerant and understanding, so there we have it. If you want to have a long, happy marriage, stick to your vows, give each other space, let things go, and above all, unlike your children, don't get divorced. They have hit on the perfect formula for them, which is to find the pleasure and duty. Heartiest congratulations, Your Royal Highnesses. The only garment I've bought this season is a navy serge boiler suit from the workwear outfitters Spry, as I'm sure you'll all be asking me. Then I read that Vogue has identified a new trend, which it puts down to the worldwide Weinstein moment: brown corduroy, baggy sweaters, clogs and plaid. Vogue calls the new look the death of. I reckon my man-repelling boiler suit is bang on the death of trend, and even though I look like a garage mechanic, I can feel fashion-forward for the first time in my life. Baggy lady actress Katie Holmes, rocking the trend. Kylie Jenner, reality TV star, model and Kardashian clan member, is said to be shunning the spotlight because she has insecurities about her changing body as she enters the last trimester of her first pregnancy. Makeup maven Kylie, 20, is having a baby, or, as she might put it, launching a brand merge or collab with a rapper called Travis. They've only been dating since April. That setup would freak me out far more than becoming cow-heavy with child for a few months. Janet Street Porter, the toothy former presenter of Youth TV, and now a loose woman of daytime, says I'm part of the most irritating family on the planet. She has called on the boxer Amir Khan to punch my father's lights out in the jungle down under. No, not gonna hit back. Sorry. Even though my dad's 77. When Janet goes low, we go high. A Japanese rail firm has groveled about the severe inconvenience caused when an express left 20 seconds early. Which reminds me, 2 weeks ago it took me 10 hours to get from York to London. Did Virgin say sorry? Don't make me laugh. Last year the average first-time buyer in London needed a deposit of more than £90,000. That's a lot of avocados. Communities Secretary Sajid Javid hits out at baby boomers who believe young people can get on the housing ladder if they give up fancy foods. In this age of shrinking publicity budgets, it is very generous of John Lewis to devote the Christmas campaign to my 1986 picture book. Illustrator Chris Riddle suggests the company has plagiarized his story Mr. Underbed for its festive ad. We're a very down-to-earth family. Tamara Eccleston, as her reality TV program shows her living in a £70 million mansion complete with a 3-story play area. The pictures are split 5050, a normal young girl and then this weird hybrid, pouty lips and pushing boobs out. Chef Jamie Oliver bemoans the social media pictures posted by some teenage girls. They don't call him the crocodile for nothing. He never says a word but suddenly he bites. Friend's description of Emerson Mnangagwa, Robert Mugabe's former brutal henchman who organized the coup in Zimbabwe. My commuter train in Tokyo was 2 minutes late because there was an earthquake. Twitter user Shilavel Sacco recalls her experience in the week that a Tokyo rail firm apologized for dispatching a train 20 seconds early. In my best Lady Bracknell voice I said, "Are you actually touching my breast?" Screenwriter Daisy Goodwin recalls her reaction at being groped during a visit to Downing Street.